Welcome. So, for tonight's Incognito spoken word, I thought that I would speak about something a friend and I shared. Now, me personally, I have not had sex since I split up with my husband last summer. And it's gotta be one of the best things I've ever done for myself in the last 22 years. You know, it feels good to just be in your own energy, because what we forget is that anytime we have sex with someone, we share energy with that person. And so if that person is carrying any negative energy, it's passed on to us. And, you know, maybe we never really notice it because we're so used to it. But if you really were to take a step back and look at how you feel, you know, now when you're married and you really are in love with your spouse, when you guys have intimacy, it is an explosional type of feeling, you know. It's just a amazing feeling. But when that person is not true to you and they are possibly doing things that are questionable in nature, I don't know about you, but I can feel the change in the chemistry, the energy, so to speak, right? Now, did you ever wonder that in my situation, for instance, where I've been with someone who has been with other partners, unless you know who the other partner is, you don't know what type of bad, you know, could be attached to them. And I'm sorry to tell you, when you have sex with your partner who has sex with this person that has that attachment, you unfortunately do take on that attachment as well. It reminds me of that movie, It Follows, which is the music you're listening to here behind my voice. That movie was about a demon that had to go from partner to partner, and so it would make these people have sex, you know, to trade this demon onto them. But the ultimate end of it all was death, right? Because you allowed this demon to take over you. So I think the whole purpose of that movie was to talk about, you know, the lust, the desire for a lust, or, you know, to just, you can't control your members, you can't control your emotions to the point where you just have to have sex, especially after painful events. You know, one of the most painful events is losing somebody in death, especially a loved one like a husband or wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, companion, whatever. When you lose someone that you've been physically, emotionally with, it does something to the chemistry in your brain. And I know, because I've been there. And so many times do we just start letting anybody into our bed, you know, and it don't matter if it's really in the bed, but you know what I mean, like into your person, like into your whole like vibration, right? Like I said, the energy. And before you know it, you're weighed down, you know, and you don't understand, like, why can't I quench this emotional pain that I'm longing for, right? Because to be honest, and let's be honest with ourselves, the reason we're having sex is because we're trying to replace what was lost when that person was removed out of our life, for whatever reason it was. I think death is the hardest one because that's the one that's unexpected, and that's the one where maybe when that person passed, you guys were tight as, you know, pants on a damn skater, you know what I mean? And so that losing that person was not, that's not something to swallow easy. So you really become vulnerable to these things. So basically what I want to say is that I want you to know that I understand. I've been there too. I lost somebody to suicide. I've lost somebody to infidelity. I've lost somebody to treachery. And I finally think I learned my lesson this last time around. Because, my first one that was really close to me was, my first boyfriend, Hunter. And then, right after him, I went to Paul. And then Paul, had his past. And then right after Paul, I went to Eric. Eric and I, in 15 years, then right after Eric, less than a year, I'm, married to my husband, Michael, who was way too young for me, bless his heart. But he was an adult and he had choices and he chose to make the choices he made. And that's why we're not together now. So I just want you to know I understand what you guys feel and that there is light at the end of the tunnel of pain. And I've been through it. What I'm experiencing right now is unimaginable, especially when you know that you have no one to understand you or to feel what you feel or to see what you see, because unfortunately what you're tasked to do in my situation is specific to what God wants me to do. And that's to help as many people as I can through my voice. He gave me a gift. And also he gave me a lot of knowledge. And I just know now that I went through everything I've gone through to be where I am at right now. Because had I not gone through it, I could not tell you what I experienced and what worked for me or what helped me, right? So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys, that, protect yourselves, because our emotions will allow us to go places that we would normally not go. It's like alcohol, right? When you drink alcohol, you do things you would normally not do. And the Bible, speaks of the heart, okay, in Jeremiah 21 or 27, it might be, guys. But it tells you the heart is treacherous and cannot pretty much be trusted. So in other words, you know how in today's world, everything is go with your heart, follow your heart, follow your heart. Well, really, following your heart can be dangerous. It can be downright life-threatening because your heart is desperate. It is desperate. You have to really control your heart. And depending on our backgrounds, what we've experienced, what we've gone through, it's different for each one of us. What we need to learn, though, is that each one of us have a journey. And to stop looking at things from a bird's eye view, right? Protect yourselves from these vultures, because they are out there looking for you. They're waiting for someone who will give themselves away and string you along as long as they can.